fun. Episode 10, the last episode of the graduation teenage series, right?
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah.
We did it. I mean, our kids did, but inadvertently.
Yeah.
So
We did it too.
Oh yeah, let's get.
No.
Does it show? Is it upside down? I think I went the wrong direction.
That's okay.
Yeah, y'all get the gist.
Well, guess what we did this weekend?
I know.
What are we going to talk about?
Graduation. I love that
Graduation. I
march they
wonder-
come in on.
I
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
or
I
whatever it
wonder
is.
how many graduates there were. I'm going to Google that. Should I?
I think
Are you taking your hat off?
yes.
Okay, let's take them
our
off.
hats
yes.
off to our
Hats
children
off.
and
Hats
to all
off. Good luck,
graduates.
ladies and gents. All right.
Way to
That's
explain
great.
that. Okay, I'm going to
That's
look.
really awesome.
How many people
I think there was
graduated?
880.
80?
Oh no, I'm
880,
talking about
890.
just across the country.
Oh, I love it. I love it. She's going to do like a country statistic.
How many
Oh, wow,
teenagers?
yeah.
Well, how are
But
your
wait,
seats, Sandra?
welcome
Oh.
back to. I said
Oh.
yes, so we're mom proof. For sure now that we have graduates. It's all about the art of being uncomfortable. And I was uncomfortable a lot this graduation. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
And I
couldn't have been more
anxious,
uncomfortable.
I was annoyed. I was sad. I mean, those of us that have
Yeah.
ex-husbands, you have to deal with them. It's all that family stuff again.
It is his
At
family,
the-
whether they're exes
yes,
or
I'm gonna look
O's.
right
It
here.
is definitely a thing to organize
X's and
and
O's.
like that. I don't know.
Oh,
I
but
just
that's a
said
good
that.
one. So
I said
O's
that-
can be those of you
Yeah,
that are
correct.
married.
That's right. Oh, I like it.
Others.
We have X's, you have others.
Others.
Well, that's appropriate now.
What? Anyway, I'm all like, what?
We all
Okay, I'll
have
look that up in a
others.
minute.
Okay, so yes, there were a lot of kids that graduated, but I wonder if, like you were saying, the dynamic of having the family. I mean, what was the biggest thing that you had to contend with, do you feel, like in the anxiety and whirlwind of it all?
I think there was so many things, but I was doing really well, and I was like, "Oh, I have everything under control," and
Which day is this? Like
the
prior
day
to
of,
the day
no,
of
I
graduation
thought I
day.
was going to be
day, the
really
May
sad.
26, 2023.
Because like leading up to it all week, the kids had all kinds of activities, right? There was the practice they did, and there was so many. They had to turn in
all the
Oh,
finalities.
the checkboard,
Yes,
the
the
paperwork.
checklist, turn in this.
When they
Senior
were
checklist.
Yes, when they were doing the turning in of stuff, I started to feel like a little tingling of emotions coming up. And I was like texting her, like, "Well, where are you?" Like, like already like saying, "Oh, she's not coming back," But like mentally, I think like I got to the day and I was like, "Okay, well, this is gonna be fine. I'm okay. I feel
Did you
okay."
cry during the ceremony? How much did you cry? How about that one?
I did not, because I felt like
Neither did I.
I wasn't.
Which is weird.
I thought I would, but I did not.
Same.
I did. I had a moment. I definitely had a moment. Yeah.
Which part triggered? Not triggered. but
When
we
they
can go
walked
into
in,
that
it was
for-
the song.
Same.
It was that song.
It
And they
is a
did this.
song.
We had that beautiful baccalaureate. I don't know if we talked about that in
should.
our last episode or the one before. But the baccalaureate is normally it's a celebration the week before graduation, and they do it sometimes often in a church or a place of worship. And it's just all the kids come into that song. They had their gowns on, and then the pastors, priests, what have you, just kind of said a blessing over them.
Nice.
And actually, it's kind of cool. We all put our hands up and to give them a blessing. I forgot about
Oh, I
that, which
like
was
that.
very
I
cool.
like-
Yeah.
But anyway, that I heard it then. That triggered it. It's just that it's almost like the wedding march.
It
It's
is.
just
What's that one called? Pomp and circumstance.
Yeah. So that's when I
They
cried.
looked so proud of themselves.
Yeah,
Yes.
walking in, and I always
were
say
confident.
to Ave, head up, shoulders back.
Yeah.
And I just felt like
Yeah.
it. And when I watched her walking through the
I
gate, the arches, I was like,
know.
all right, okay,
This is
it's going to be okay.
Great. It was so
Yeah.
good.
No, it was good. It was very I thought it was very well organized, first of all, and that kind of gave like a little peace. Like
Yeah.
when things are in chaos and you kind of like start to go chaotic, but
Yeah.
it was very well organized.
We did get a shout out to Lake Travis ISD
Yeah.
for hosting the best outside graduation. We are curious how neighboring districts
we?
are
I
managing
don't
to
give
get
a shit.
inside.
You know why I don't?
I'm
give a-
jealous.
You,
I want
do you
to
know
because
why?
you don't have any
'Cause
more
I'm
kids.
done. I am done.
I got one
My
more. I don't
job
want to
is
sit
over.
outside. LTISD.
They did a great job. I mean,
They
that's a
did a
lot
great
to
job.
organize.
They did. No, they did a
So
great job.
there was a lot of emotion.
Well,
Up
I
and
had
down.
therapy the day
Oh, that's
of.
perfect.
Perfectly scheduled. We should
I
all do
did,
that.
and
That's our
and
nugget today.
I want to put this out there because maybe other people haven't come to this conclusion, but because I hadn't until my therapist brought it up to my attention. And I was telling her that I was really confused and I didn't really know how I felt, but I knew I felt something, right? Like it was sadness, it was happiness. There was just so many emotions that were just packed into the whole graduation. And she said to me, she goes, well, it's normal. She says, and, she went into this exercise of like, well, how do you feel? And all these things, like, or what comes up. But the final outcome was, she's told me that when you're raising children, that you are so focused on getting them to this point of graduation, right? Like we're so hyper focused on that, that we put all of our stuff on a shelf. And as we're seeing our children graduate, it's like now you have to face
Visual.
yourself.
Yes.
Now that stuff that's on the shelf, you're going to have to
That's
deal with.
heavy.
Dang it.
Damn.
We owe you
Cha-ching,
how much for that therapist?
cha-ching.
That may have been the best nugget I've heard because
Mhm.
I feel like that is actually happening to me. So it is unbelievable. And I've been catching it actually at the end of last year when she became a senior.
Interesting.
That I started to just go a little bit crazy.
And now we can't get out of our own way. You can't.
Right.
We got.
I mean,
we
I have
got to
another
deal
one at
with
home.
it.
We do have
Yeah,
another one at
but you-
home. It's good distraction.
Yes.
What you're.
But
It makes
I
sense.
love what Sandra just
You're
said.
gonna
You
have to
stay
deal with
present
you.
and deal.
You're gonna have
Yeah.
to deal with. What
So do you think the kids are dealing with that, like in their own version? We're the 2.0 because we have so much stuff, but I mean that could be like a real simple, clean version of transformation right out of the gate. Like
Maybe
sit
there
with
are
themselves.
also like we're trying to we have
Excuse
to
me.
face ourselves, but now they have to face themselves too because
That's what I just said.
yeah, they're gonna go
Okay.
by themselves,
Okay.
and now
Right.
they're gonna be like,
Right.
well, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna pawn this off on my parents because they're not here with
That's
us.
our goal, right?
We really want our kids to not need us. We
I feel
really.
so
We
sad.
really need,
Yeah.
but this is our job. We
I
have to. It's.
know, I know.
You
I'm
have
so
to be
having
able
my
to. Say, I
clamps.
know. I know. We want them to not need us.
Right. And it's been very, look at our 3 girls.
Yeah.
Come on. I wonder who their mothers are because they are powerful bitches.
I know. I love it. I
But
think I still. Yeah. The whole need
was
thing.
yelled
I
out.
don't know.
Yes.
Is that a load of bullshit? Do we
No,
really?
but I think it adds to these post graduation blahs.
Okay,
that people
that's
may be
good. You know
feeling.
what?
Okay. I may be feeling that. So I'll just put it out there. A
It's,
little
and
bit.
you
I
said it's like
definitely-
postpartum almost. I mean,
I almost said postpartum. I did. I go post
but
graduation.
you're right. Sorry. So
But postpartum.
it's just something that you almost can't help because it's such a release your hormones. And look, there's a lot of graduating senior parents that are in their 50s. Maybe there's a lot of women that are going through menopause right now. And
Dude.
having to deal with that, oh, the hot flashes, stop it. That and a graduating senior, that's a lot. This is
That's
a
a big
real life
combo.
event.
Yeah.
It's
really is.
genetically like in our bodies to like emote for these kids, right? I mean,
Gosh.
come on.
I mean, I was fine during graduation, but it was that night that
When you get
after
afterwards.
graduation, and I woke up and I had like severe anxiety.
Because she wasn't home.
She wasn't home, and
Yeah, I would
was like
know.
very like
Oh, that's okay. That's really normal. Okay,
Yeah.
like that's because that everything. Not even if you're have a graduating senior.
Yeah.
But if you don't wake up and your kid's not home, you know what I mean. So that's you had
Yeah.
a normal reaction. And did she respond when you texted?
well, she did, and I knew, but I was like kept thinking like, well, she's not going to be here anymore.
Oh,
You know,
it
like
went
I
into
kept
the-
thinking about
yes.
that. But then the more I kept thinking about it, the worse it got. Right? Like so. It
That's
was,
called. You want to know what it's called in therapy?
what is it called?
Well, I'd have to probably
Oh, just say it.
charge you. No, but catastrophizing. When you take something and you make it a
Yes.
catastrophe in your head, and I love that word,
I do.
catastrophizing.
Oh my gosh, that is.
So you were catastrophizing right
How do
then.
we stop
people.
that? Do we need like a rubber band?
Okay, you could have a rubber
Mm-hmm.
band. What else? I mean, let's hear what Sandra did because I bet she did come up with something before.
No, I called
Oh.
my friend in Houston because I was
That's
like,
a great
I
one right
didn't,
there.
I didn't know how
That's a
to
great one.
like soothe myself, so I called her, and then she was, telling me some stuff that she does, and she she like breathe, and she said go take a warm shower. She said like change or cold shower. She's like changing your body temperature.
Perfect.
It's almost like shocking yourself, to come back to calm yourself down.
Yeah.
She told me
That's good though that you had a friend
if
to
she's
call.
listening.
That's ding. You hear that, everybody?
She said she would sit in her car with the radio blaring.
That can transform your ear canals.
Wow, I don't know what I do.
I know. Think about it real quick, and our kids should too.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
real quick,
Although
but-
I will say, I feel like that sometimes during the day. And I'm going to plug her again, Mel Robbins. She's just,
oh my God, I'm following her on TikTok.
she's
now
really
because of
great.
you.
There was one podcast she did, or one little reel, where she said, stop what you're doing and go take a bath. And this was kind of right after COVID. So most of us were still working at home. So when you work at home, there's been a couple times where I've been so freaked out with something or another. I'll
Yeah.
just stop for a minute and God, now the whole world
great.
knows I may have taken a bath at 2:00 in the afternoon. Is that weird?
for you.
No, Mel Robbins said
No.
it was okay.
And you know what?
So
I
it
think
must be okay.
my friend referenced Mel Robbins. She said, I'm doing a workbook by her right now. And then she was like, started naming these things. So there.
Okay.
That sounds amazing.
Double affirmation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
But I mean, it is normal to just have some, post-event blues. But I wonder, like I said, do you think the kids are? I
Yeah,
mean,
that's a
yes,
good
as
thing.
parents,
Let's talk to him about it. I think I'm going to do that. I appreciate this.
Mm-hmm.
This actually is
just to
because
say,
I feel like for a year I've been saying, so did you get that done? I know you got that done. You've been so good about getting all that done. You got that done? Is that done? Hey, did you get the parking thing done? Everything's done. Everything is 100%
so now
done.
we could say, what are you
No,
most
mine
looking
didn't.
for?
Mine got
She couldn't get her diploma because she had 2 tickets from 2 years ago. I was like, what?
What about her senior checklist when she was going through
Well, that's when she figured it out.
That is
Oh.
so funny. Okay.
That's funny. What if we ask them instead?
You know what I mean? Like we've spent this whole year making
Yes.
sure the list has been, things have been checked off. And I feel like the list is complete. It's totally done. So that is like
Good.
okay.
It is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
And we should say, what are you most looking forward to about going? And what are you least looking forward to? That's a way to hear some of their
And it may have
concerns and fears,
changed,
maybe.
Yeah.
from the last time.
Yes. I don't know if I've ever asked about that. I don't know if I've ever asked my kid that. I'm sure I have.
I'm sure you have. You're
they
the
not
therapist of the
expressed?
group. You surely have.
Have they not expressed
Have they expressed that they're nervous or scared or anything?
just
to go?
the recognition that she won't have the conveniences and so pampering and just the beautiful life that she lives. She's like, oh my God.
that was
These trees are greener. You look at the sky, and she's like really noticing. And then again, I told you about making her like a sandwich and like, thanks, Mom. You're like, oh wow, because she's acknowledging, and I was so that was very forward thinking to acknowledge what you're going to give up.
Yes.
She's getting ready. Yeah, which I thought was years beyond many kids, especially my 16-year-old sons. But
Well, isn't that funny? What a difference 2 years makes.
2 years?
I mean, you certainly wouldn't have heard that 2 years ago. I noticed
her.
that quite a bit with my
maybe from
with
her
my
kid.
older son, my youngest of the 3 sons, just launching out later in life, and him also being appreciative for things that are happening at home after COVID. He's stuck there, so now he's actually
Traveling. That's
Yes,
really
that's kinda cool.
impressive. We're excited for
I
him.
think
Maybe that's just what we do in life sometimes when we know
What?
that things are changing. We appreciate what we really have, and maybe we can kind of put it in a bigger box to the kids. This is how life is going to be as things change. Stop, appreciate what's happening right here and right now. I know I thought the other day at graduation, as emotional as the whole thing was, the weather was perfect. I just
Yes.
felt like
Did y'all
there was a little
notice?
touch of angel dust, fairy dust just on the night. And I was feeling so tense. I just remember thinking, thank you, Lord. This is wonderful. This is, and I really tried to take that the blue skies. It was really cool. It was,
it was a beautiful evening. We got very lucky.
and I totally could have brought wine in. They didn't check the bag. I mean, I wanted to be such a
made
rebel
it.
that night. Okay, clear
know.
bag.
Yeah.
I'm bringing my wine in.
Maybe I have a flask that you won't recognize.
Right? That would be good. But no, I sat there without any wine.
I know.
Dang it.
I was like completely modeling to the kids. If they are doing that, then we're doing that. And
we're
I'm
also behaving.
Yeah, we were behaving. But I don't know if they start to misbehave this summer, at least they checked all their boxes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And how do you my daughter says that she's, worried that she's gonna she's already predicting anxiety, right? Like she's like, I'm gonna, what am I gonna do? And this. And then I tried the other day, I said, well, what are some of the things that you think are gonna be good? Like, tell me some things that you think are gonna be exciting, that are gonna happen when you go off to college,
Great question.
But it's kind of, I think it's that whole thing, and is that she's predicting that she's gonna get upset, anxious.
That's the kind of stuff, right? I mean, moms, therapists, dads unite. Get them on this one. What can you control? What you can't control? That seems basic, right? But I mean, sometimes you just have to actually chart it out with them. Like, she can control blah blah. She can't control these others. You focus on obviously building more of what you can and less of what you can't. But how do you cope with what you can't? Is that conversation that you're trying to get to,
right?
And that's a good one for all of us. I mean, your kiddo is especially like intuitive on feelings. I just think she's really got that gift of.
Well, it's good and bad because now she's predicting how she's going to feel, or she's
over therapizing herself.
Probably a really good therapist.
I told her that one time. I said, I would love that.
A good therapist. I think mine is mine is feeling super sad. All the tears. I mean, one of her really good friends got on a plane to Australia the next day and is gone. And there was that moment of finality and I saw a lot of her friends really in
tearful on the field.
Very, very
and we talked
open.
about that grief, right? It's like they're experiencing
grieving. It's a death and dying.
Happy. Yeah, but in a rebirth, it's so cool. Don't get me going there. If we all stop on that, we're all like, that's
did we sage the room? The energy is completely perfect today. I was just saying I have to sage my house.
The new house?
No, the current house. Just a lot of
sorry.
So you got to get your energy right.
Let me know if you want support.
Thanks.
That's fun to do it. Is Debbie still there?
Debbie is there. My best friend. It was pretty cool to have
Debbie.
her.
I love seeing Debbie.
Now that's an interesting mom
That's another
right
whole
there.
series of podcasts.
And that was fun though, right? Like seeing other people that we maybe hadn't seen in a while.
Yes.
The graduation.
Yes.
Because even after graduation, there was more graduation parties going on.
Yeah,
was
those
really
were like
fun.
I saw some of the I'll say volleyball moms that I saw in middle school, and then when volleyball was no more, you don't see those moms anymore.
Yeah.
And with the whole sports, it's a whole other. I miss
sure.
that. That's going to
do
be
miss
one of
that.
the number one things I will miss about not having kids at home. That was a favorite to go and watch them play a sport. One of the top.
We did have tears when Reagan had their last basketball
Yeah.
game, and she'd played all the way through since seventh
Yeah.
grade, and you're just like, I think Gary and I were more tearful, and we're like, how are you? She's like, if I ever touch a effing basketball again, I will be a like, oh, wow. She was like, she's like, it's just a perfect ending. Like, it was a great season. She was, but it's just this natural stop.
Gosh, I love that.
And we said, will you ever play rec ball or just in college? She goes, I'm not touching one of those balls.
Which is actually a good
Really
point.
good,
Which is
though.
so cool.
What
Like,
about the kids like your daughter that was very active?
and now
now they're going to college,
Yeah,
and
you
then-
need to keep working out for sure. Good one,
But
Sandra.
because also like your neurotransmitters, right? There's so many things that happen when you work out,
Dopamine.
and then if you don't, if you're not doing that anymore, and
How do
you're
you
gonna
feel
have a
that
drop in
nat-
that.
That is so. You are on point today.
This is the perfect wrap up. We really are. We've hit some good little things.
That's a good one.
It is
Yeah.
good. That is so important.
So what do they do to
So
make sure that
so
they
is your
know?
does she have a workout? Do y'all's
Well,
daughters? I don't know.
Yeah, my daughter does have a
They like to go
workout
to
routine,
HCI, they do
and
whatever.
she's been 2 years without actually having a sport anyway.
There you go.
But so
We wanna
she's
keep that
already,
up. They'll be walking a lot on campus. We just want to make sure they do it safely in pairs, and that they have like security. Something how those colleges have like cool students that are I don't know who they hire
Yeah.
or they give credit to those dudes
Yeah.
that will drive you in the golf carts.
yeah.
So but just keep moving.
Just keep moving.
Just keep moving. They certainly need to get outside, get fresh air and sunlight at the very least. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if they get them outside, usually get them doing something else. But yes, exercise is going to be imperative.
I think that was a big part of one of my other kiddos' challenges is going to a school from Texas where it was cold and the winters were dark and long. And just if you're not outside all the time, it certainly is.
Oh, because they have seasonal depression
Yes.
too, right?
Big
Yeah.
time.
And
Big
they
time
were in a
sad.
dorm room. Look, you're pretty much sleeping in a closet in those old school dorm rooms. Come on,
Yeah.
you know?
Which one? Your first one?
No. I decline to answer for, the confidentiality of my children.
Sorry, I should have had that thought without saying it out loud and asked you later. Yeah.
Like, I know no one can figure it out if it may have been in a cold place, but
So you're saying they went from Texas, living in Texas, and then they went somewhere else where it was cold and damp, and well, that was one of the
vitamin
considerations.
D, we need it. They need it. I mean,
Yeah,
look,
that-
if
Really
we'd only
need it.
done that, we could have avoided COVID. Apparently, that
Yeah.
was for 6
What?
months or
Is that what
something.
they're
It was
saying?
vitamin D only. I don't know.
Oh God, if it was only so simple.
Did you say laud?
Oh,
I
gosh.
think so. Laud. LAWD.
That was one of the considerations that my daughter had picking a college. She
Sure.
said she wanted to go to
Oh.
Colorado, and then she wanted to she picked up San Diego because she goes, there's sunshine, there's the beach. And she goes, I know that if I go to Colorado, I'm going to just get really depressed in the weather when the weather changes.
Well, that's what I'm wondering about mine going to tech. I'm just saying, like, you've got to wonder about the winters up here. So, girlfriend, you better batten it down. Lots of layers. Get you a bunch of skims.
Oh, that was hilarious. Really is funny.
We don't like winter. We don't like cold, right?
But I think sometimes just even like maybe mentioning it to them, like this could happen. Like
Yeah.
you're not going to know what's
as
happening.
long as she doesn't
but-
try to predict it.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
We got to
right.
teach her like information control, not control. What can I
Right.
yeah.
But I'm saying like other kids out there that maybe they don't know these things, right?
Yeah,
like if
for sure.
they're seasonal depression, or if you've been working out so much in a sport and then now you're not going to have
Yeah,
it,
that's a real
kind of
thing.
just as part of their toolkit that we talk about is also like explaining
Emotional
that
seatbelts.
belts exactly,
They're
because
not
I
gonna
think
like
that's
it.
important.
I think it's really important.
Yeah. But also I think that the fact that they, what do you think of like communication? Like how often
Oh yeah.
do we communicate with
I think
them?
that's
Like,
boys and girls. I'd be
That's
lucky
right.
to get a call
Yeah.
whenever.
Not yours.
Yeah, we talk a lot, but not. I mean, when they're off to school, they're busy.
Well, you
Boys, I
hope
think,
so,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
But I do think checking
yeah.
in is really
Once a-
important.
what do you-
I
know,
think
like-
those ground rules, instead of just saying, "Well, my kid never calls me," I think it's important,
Yeah, well,
moms
like,
and
you should
dads, to
check
say,
in,
I
right?
Yeah.
expect to hear from you once a week at the minimum.
yeah.
Once a week, even
Call
that's
me
a lot.
anytime, however.
Of
yeah.
course, but
I like
mean,
once a
some
week.
kids just they get, they're
Oh,
off
it's
on their
gotta be.
own.
yeah, I mean, I had a friend call me over the weekend just to tell me congratulations, and then she told me that when her daughter went to school in Kansas, and she was living in Austin, but she said her daughter called her every single day. She's already graduated college, but she said she called her every single day just to chat and tell her about her day.
Yeah,
and,
I think that will happen.
I
with-
hope that
with
kinda
mine.
happens, yeah.
Because it's like you talk to your girlfriends. That's how I talk to
Yeah.
my daughter
Yeah.
now. Anyway, I think that I'm
Yes.
past this. I've really done all I can do as a
Yep.
proper mother. I can't
Right. Now
shield
you're
her from
hanging.
anything. Not telling her something now would not be a good idea. And just being open and honest. I
Yeah.
read a quote the other day. As a matter of fact, I put it in Avery's grad speech. One of my favorite authors, Anita Diamant, she wrote The Red Tent.
Oh my
women.
gosh, Sandra, if you haven't read it.
Yeah.
She said the more a mother tells her daughter the truth about her, the stronger her daughter will be.
The truth about her, the
about
mother,
the
or
mother,
the daughter.
about the
Okay.
mother, about yourself. Maybe is
Yeah,
the
as
way
long as
she
you-
said it. The whole
okay.
idea was you tell your daughter everything about you. Don't hold anything back. Be all the way you, authentically, genuinely who
That's
you are.
true.
And then now I got a little best friend, so I know you can't be
Good
friends with your
one.
parents early on in the
That's
teenage
right.
years.
You have to hold
You've got to
off.
wait. You get there, it happens, but you
Yeah.
can't be friends with a 14-year-old teenage girl or boy.
No,
I mean,
and
I
I'm
want to be
curious
clear
how-
about that. Because I
mean,
paid
you
a lot
guys
of
have
money for that.
raised-
I'm just going to
You
say.
have.
That's a
well,
lot
but
of
doing it on your
treatment.
own too. I'm like, I know sometimes how I've been so glad that I had the co-parent right there with me because the situation was so spicy, and I was just like, I needed
Yeah,
that.
that's really
that
important.
reinforcement. So I wonder, as moms, that must be hard, and what a tribute to you guys who've raised great kids, some with a co-parent, some without, depends, emotionally too. But that's hard. Y'all have done a great job.
Yeah. And I just want to say one more other thing about this, because I know we're ending the series, is there are also the kids who I kind of tend to call the lost kids. Is those kids that maybe the parents think that like they're not getting good grades and they are not
Do they
motivated.
have any cords on or have no cords at the graduation? Think how that feels.
No, I know, but
Just saying.
they could even be like a junior. See, they're in high school.
But
And
I was
obviously-
visually putting it to like picture that, and I'm sorry, but I love where you're going. Let's keep doing
because
that's good.
it's I've had some occasions where parents will tell me, I just don't know what to do with them, like kind of like give up, like that. I don't know what to do with them. They'll figure it out, or kind of negative because the kid isn't achieving what they think the child should be achieving.
Kids pick up on that or what?
Well, A, yes, they do. And then B,
Yeah.
I want to
Shit.
say, do not give up on your kids, because maybe that child just needs a little bit of motivation from either an outside source,
Thank you.
or they just need to talk to somebody. There's something going
Five
on.
people in their social circle.
Right.
Remember to have your little support group.
So I say it because a parent told me this, and I said, I was
What age was the kid?
she's a junior,
Okay.
but I said, I was that kid.
Oh.
I was that kid, and my parents said exact same thing. Like, I don't know what's wrong with her. Like, kind of like dismiss you. You're just going to be a dumb person.
That's hard.
And guess what? I figured my way out, and I'd like to think I'm successful now. But
Yeah.
looking back then, everybody gave up. So I'm just saying, don't give up. Don't give up on your kids. Keep talking to them, or get them some kind of help, because there's something going on, and there's always a way to motivate them.
I think to your point in saying some of the kids, they really have the parents tend to expect more sometimes. And I heard this a million times. You just have so much potential.
Oh.
You say that to a kid, and you know what? This is
with but. There's the implied but.
this
It's a
this
big
is the
but.
treatment center therapy $1 million right here. You
Okay,
do tell your kid that. I did that. That was not the right thing to do. You don't want to play sports anymore? You have so much potential. Why wouldn't you want? No, I don't want to play.
hard.
I don't want to play. You have to
Right.
tap in and listen to your kid. Let your kid be who they need to be, because the
Yep.
world needs more of them, not who you think they need to be. And we
Right.
as parents do that. It's
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
Project on-
projecting.
It
It's
is a little
something
bit.
you because
It's
you
like-
want them to be
Oh, it's not
successful. And I
bad.
want them
I
to be
mean,
a great
it's not intentional.
lacrosse player. So why are you going to
Exactly.
quit? Because I don't want to play.
Right.
Okay, well, guess what?
Yeah.
And it's not about that making them stick to it thing. As a teenager, you got to let
No.
them make their decisions. Let them
for
be
sure.
who they are meant to be.
Well, don't we want them to build capacity as young adults? We said how proud we were when they all marched in little
Right,
caps and gowns and their shoulders back and all that. And like, that's a great metaphor for, don't we want them to self-advocate, to be able to say, no, I don't agree with this, or, hey, you hurt my feelings, or, all the things we hope we've been modeling as moms with our authentic relationships. And I think this podcast, I hope, has been an example of that. I don't think people think we're using a script right now.
No way. They would never
I
think
have
that.
to memorize it. Then
Yeah.
I'd have to
What?
stop and focus.
I can't even see that far.
It's what you said, though. It's also celebrate the small things they do.
Ooh,
Right?
for sure.
Like
had that today.
celebrate
Keep going.
the little things that they do, not just the big things, because
Yeah, because
sometimes they need
the
that.
peer. Okay, how has your son been with all the attention on your daughter? Because I'm gonna not say anything, to embarrass anybody, but I will say, it's been nice that my son felt he could communicate that there was a lot of lopsidedness in the parenting. And I was like, hey, dude, that's beautiful. Like, basically, he was trying to say,
yeah.
what about me? Which is really cute, I thought. So I didn't know if yours.
Well, mine's young, and he's kind of quiet, but I was actually telling Jamie yesterday that all of a sudden after graduation he got very talkative. Like just
attention's up.
expressing all kinds of stuff to me.
Yay!
And I was
He's
like,
going into what grade next
he's
year?
going into 5th, but
So he had an aha. He had a
Yeah.
revelation of
and
voice.
he's been asking questions and just really like
Is he listening to
engaging.
this podcast?
I don't know.
Maybe.
He sounds brilliant. After knowing your daughter, I doubt in any way that this one will not be as unique and amazing.
But it's funny because I was like, this is really the way it's worked
It has
out.
been
It's like Yeah.
This has been our life.
Interesting.
Our focus has been on getting our kids to graduate. And I don't think it's just other kids that have suffered. I mean, shout out to my boyfriend. Okay, as soon as Avery graduates, we're going to have more time. I swear, as soon as this is done, as soon as that is done. And now I don't do that anymore as of today at it's
let's do
o'clock.
it.
I'm not
Yep.
going to say as soon as this is done, then I'll do this because that's over. And now it's
Yep.
time to really be in the present.
Yep.
So
Be in the
I get to
present.
switch and really spread that attention out, which
good.
now you guys do too with the kids, right? Okay.
Right,
All right.
right. And
So we think.
they like
That
to be called
sounds
young
like
adults when they're 16, though I can't. I don't know how her son.
Okay, so that's part of the way we wrap up. It's just reminders are don't call your kids children; they'll be really offended. Never mind that they are young adults.
Yep.
Wear the seatbelt,
Wear the emotional seatbelts.
and the real one.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Talk about how you're going to manage your anxiety,
control,
and
what you can't
can
control.
not control. I was
What you
trying to,
can't- yep.
yes, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
nicely
one.
done. No, that's it. That's
Well, let's end with another question. How about
Okay,
that?
the last
Yay,
question
okay.
now. Coffee.
No, we're past the
past
coffee.
I
coffee.
know, but that was a
oh, you
good
said
one.
no, that was a good one.
I think
You did that was a good answer.
this question is going to be about us personally. So, if we had to name, or if we had to put our life or describe our life as a movie genre, our life today, what genre would we pick? So it's about your life.
Okay.
I know mine would be one of those horror comedies. I don't know what that genre is called.
Horror com? Wait, no. Com horror?
They
Comedy
become very
horror, a
popular
horror
now.
comedy.
Yeah,
Oh
comedy
my
horror
God.
movies,
Okay.
yes.
Wow.
Okay. That's
That
funny.
is a
That's funny.
combo. I like it.
Mine is like adventure, romance, comedy. That's a lot.
like a rom-com?
Rom-com with the other adventure parts. Yeah, adventure because, life is friggin' adventure. You gotta grab it, baby, and live it.
I love it.
Gosh, yeah.
What about you over
Okay,
there,
I know.
lady?
Y'all know I love my life. I do. I say it all the time. You know it.
Okay, remind me to tell y'all later of this show you have to watch where someone says like, everything goes my way.
Okay.
And you just think, I think you need to start saying that.
Okay, I will. That's how I feel. I love my life. It's a definite rom-com. I mean, I have a great sense of humor for all the fucked upness that I've had to deal with, and that is a word. And I'm an endless optimist and romantic. I'm in love. My kids are happy and healthy. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of bad shit going on in the world, and I just refuse to let it in. So I think I'm pure rom-com. Mhm.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I
Sarah.
mean, I can borderline. No,
Yeah.
nope. Keep
No,
it
you're
clean.
All right.
That's
Well, I
right.
think that was a great way to wrap up the graduation series.
Yeah.
And our next series is Staying Bothered.
It's staying bothered. It's going to be
Yes.
awesome. What do we do with staying bothered? We take positive things out of it and make real change. That's what we're going to talk about, and we've done it. So way to go! And we've got the art of being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Maybe every other time. Yeah, mom proof. Okay, good. We're out.
All
Thanks,
right.
gals.
Thank you, guys.
Namaste.